The other day I was scrolling through YouTube as I do on a regular basis, and I came across this video right here. Now, I'd never heard of this YouTuber before, but I just clicked on it because the thumbnail looked cool and the title sounded interesting. And I was blown away by this video. It's really short, it's only a few minutes long, and this YouTuber just takes a normal wavetable synth and he makes this huge pad sound. And I am a sucker for pad sounds, and as soon as I watched it I decided I want to do this, and I've been playing around with the wavetable ever since. I forgot what a cool synth it is and how much fun you can have with it. So I'm just going to take his lead and I'm just going to dive a little deeper than he did in his YouTube tutorial, and let's just see how much fun we can have with a wavetable. So first of all, let's just go into Ableton, into instruments right here, and grab a wavetable and chuck it on track 1. And let's open it up right here. And now we basically just have a sine wave single oscillator doing nothing much really. Let's have a listen. Let's take this single oscillator sound and we're going to start manipulating it. First off, we're going to go over here to the amplitude envelope. And in order to create a nice pad sound, we want the sound to sort of come in slowly. Right now, when I hit the sound, it just sort of, it's just there straight away. So actually, before what we'll do is, before we start playing around with the sound, let's go up here to my plugin folder, to iZotope, and I'm just going to chuck an instance of Insight 2 on here. So now you can see on the spectrogram, this is what our sound looks like. Like I said, this is just a sine wave, nothing much happening. So what we're going to do is we're going to just increase the attack a little. And now you'll hear that the sound sort of just glides in. Okay, nothing spectacular there at the moment. And then we're going to change this sine wave to something along like a triangle or saw wave, somewhere in there. And you can see over here beautifully as I increase, or I should say as I change the position of the wavetable here, you can see that these frequencies start getting added over here. So the further up we go, the more frequencies are added. So let's maybe go here for now. And what we'll do is as well, we'll increase the release time of the amplitude envelope, just so when I let go of the sound, it sort of drags on a little bit. That's nice. All right, so next up what we're going to do is we're going to add in the sub right here, and that'll beef up the sound nicely. So if I switch the sub off over here, you'll see that this part of the sound is missing. And if I switch it on, it gets added. So there's the low frequencies for you. Starting to sound nice already. And next up, we're going to go to the filter right here. And we're going to decrease it. And as you'll see in the spectrogram over here, as I start taking away the frequencies, you'll see the frequencies go down in the spectrogram. So let me just start moving them away. See right here, the way that's the movement of this frequency control right here. Very nice. And what we want to do now is we want to take this envelope right here, and we want to put that onto the frequency knob right here. So what that's going to do is if I don't use the envelope, if I just use my mouse, what I want to happen is something along the lines of this. When I hit the key, I want the envelope, the frequency knob to turn this way and then go back down again. So I want this to happen. But I don't want to have to do that every time I push any key. So that's where this envelope comes in handy. So if I increase the envelope, which is this envelope right here, envelope 2, up here on the filter 1 frequency, let me just turn that up right here. Now this should move when I hit the key. Let's see if it happens. Okay, let's take it down a little. So that's happening too quickly. So we want to also increase the attack time here, so this moves a little slower, and let's just take this down a little. Maybe take down the decay time. There we go. So that kind of gives the sound a little movement. And you can see that happening here on the frequencies in the spectrogram. Very nice. And then next up, we're going to take a chord MIDI device and whack that on there. And this is what the guy in that video did, which was really cool. He just added a 7th. So if I just turn this up to 7, every time I hit a key, the 7th above it is going to be played as well. So listen to this. Sounding good already. And look at those beautiful frequencies. That's why I love this iZotope Insight plugin so much. It's just fun to watch. So anyway, next up, what we want to do is grab an echo. Put that on here. I'm just going to turn down the dry wet knob. Let's just see how this sounds. Sounds good. I'm going to unsynchronize or stereo link this right here, and then I'm going to put this on 1/16. That sort of adds more movement to this whole thing. There we go. So right now I'm still pretty much doing what was done in that video, but we're going to change things up shortly. And then finally we'll add the reverb. So let me just go grab a reverb, put that in here, turn down the dry wet signal and increase the K time. Let's see how this sounds. Yeah, that adds lots of space. Okay, so now I've really just done what was done in that initial video that I was talking about. Now let's just play around and see where we can take this. So I'm going to start using my push right now to control some of these settings. So let me go back into the wavetable and let me just adjust the position. That sounds good. Turn up my headphones here a little. Now what I want to do is I want to add in the second oscillator right here. So I'm going to switch it on. And let's just change up the sound a little. Let's add some distortion. So I'm going to click on the wavetable button right here, go to oscillators, put it on number 2. So now you can see the second oscillator. Let's move the position around a little, see what that does to the sound. Like that already. Let's add some effects to this. The great thing with the push is we can add aftertouch, which is AT right here. And I want to, let me just click on the oscillator to position. And that opens it up right here. And I'm going to go to aftertouch. And now I'm going to just put some of that on there. So this means when I hit the key and then push down, it's going to change the position right here of the oscillator 2. All right, I feel like that needs a little more work. Just bring this down a little maybe. Move this down. Okay, and we'll take the overall volume down. right here. I just want the effect to be subtle. Okay, I'm digging that already. All right, so this is where the real fun begins for me personally. We're going to take a closer look at the echo effect right here, which is a delay effect. And we can do some crazy sort of feedback-induced sound manipulations with this. So I'm going to go back into my push to work on this because I have all the knobs. So let me go into my echo and I'm going to go to modulation. And I'm going to start modulating the delay signal. Ooh, hear that wobble? That's because of what I'm doing right here. And if we look in the module itself, it's this right here. I could turn this up and down right here and you'll see it's moving. So that adds this really nice movement to the sound. Let's do this to the filter, modulate the filter. I'm going to put this modulation sync, I'm going to turn it off. And now I have the frequency right here. I'm just going to lower that. This is what happens if I turn it up. Signal. Nice. Sorry, I keep hitting the stand up here with my head. All right, so next up what I want to do is I'm going to go to the delay. Now we're going to get a little crazy. So we're going to start, actually what we're going to do is we're going to go to the filter. I'm going to turn up the input gain. And let's mess around with the filter itself. Go to delay, and now we're going to start messing around with the feedback. Let's put it up above 100, so that means it's not actually going to go down, it's going to sort just keep going on. Now we get the feedback. Let's go to the filter again. Just putting the resonance up. Ooh. Delay, and I'm going to start playing around with the division here. This is the left side. like the wind. Mess around with the filter a bit. You go down an octave. I feel like Jimi Hendrix right now. Put down the output gain so it doesn't get too crazy. Upping the feedback even more. Oh my God. Mess around with the filter again. Whoa. I just love stuff like this. This is not for everyone, but I love it. Just experimenting with sound, seeing what happens. Checking the resonance. And now I'm going to go back to delay and let's dial back that feedback. And now it should die out again. So that's just a little example of how much fun you can have with these different settings, especially on the echo, that is, and obviously on the wavetable itself. All right, so to top this all off, let's just click on everything right here. I'm going to shift click chord, now push Command G, and now we have grouped it all together. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a download below, and you can download this synth that I just built and mess around with the settings yourself. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more of this type of thing, definitely smash that like button and also leave me a comment below. That way I know that you enjoyed this and I'll do more of this type of thing in the future. All the best for now, and I'll see you all soon. Take it easy. Peace.